Hi everyone, I hope you're good. Today is day 16 in our Lebanese Arabic 30-day challenge, which I'm doing with you guys on YouTube. In the past 2 days, we started talking about basic phrases and expressions and questions that we use like a lot in the Lebanese dialect. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna start by playing whatever we've learned so far. And when we reach here, where I put like a little pink line here, is where we finished, and whatever you will hear from this question onwards is new information. Yalla, let's begin. I'm gonna press play just for us to review what we've done so far, and we can listen to the new sentences, and then I can break them down for you. Yalla, I'm gonna play it on my phone. Yalla. I always click record by mistake. 1 second. عبارات وجمل بنستعملهم كتير بلبنان. Phrases and sentences we use a lot in Lebanon. مرحبا, مرحبا, hello. Bonjour, good day or good morning. أهلا وسهلا, hello and welcome. صباح الخير, good morning. The reply to صباح الخير is صباح النور, a morning of light, literally, which means good morning. سعيدة, good day, سعيدة. Literally, you're saying happy day, happy. صح النوم. We use it when somebody has just woken up and we can see they have puffy eyes and they've slept long. صح النوم. تفضل, تفضلي, تفضلوا. تفضل in the masculine, تفضلي in the feminine, تفضلوا in the plural. Come on in or you're welcome. شو اسمك? شو اسمك? What's your name? Masculine, feminine. تشرفنا. Literally, we are honored, which means nice to meet you. بتحكي عربي? If you're saying it to a guy, do you speak Arabic? And the feminine form is بتحكي عربي, the same. In the plural, it's بتحكوا عربي. إيه, بحكي شوي. Yes, I speak a bit. شوي, ما كتير. A little bit, not much. وين ساكن? Or وين عايش? If you're speaking to a guy. وين ساكن, literally where the resider, which means where do you reside? That's why it means where do you live. وين عايش, literally you're saying where are you the liver, the person who lives. That's why it means where do you live. In the feminine form we say وين ساكنة, وين عايشة. In the plural form we have to say وين ساكنين, وين عايشين. كيفك, how are you in the masculine. كيفك, how are you in the feminine. منيح, masculine. منيحة, feminine. I'm good. ماشي الحال. All good. ماشي الحال. You can also say ماشي الحال, ça va in French. All good. ماشي الحال. شو أخبارك in the masculine form. In the feminine form you have to say شو أخبارك. What's your news. كله تمام also translates as all good. You're literally saying all of it. Great. كله تمام. شو في ما في. It translates as what's up, what's new. You're literally saying what is there, what's not there. The answer is ما في شي or ما في شي جديد. There is nothing or there is nothing new. You can also reply and say عادي, normal. You can also say عايشين, we are living. It's literally translated as we the livers, عايشين, which means yeah, we're living, all good basically. كيف العائلة, how's the family. كيف العائلة. منيح, الحمد لله. منيح is the plural form of منيح. You're saying منيح, they are good. الحمد لله, thank God. You can also say بيسلموا, they say hi, بيسلموا, even if they really didn't ask you to say hi. Okay, from this part onwards, it's new. So whatever we did today, I just played it once without explaining because we've already spoken about it. So if you think there are things that you didn't understand, you have to go to the previous two lessons, the lesson from yesterday and the lesson from before yesterday. So now we're gonna listen once to this part and we're gonna break it down. Yalla. شو عامل in the masculine form, شو عاملة in the feminine form, شو عاملين in the plural form, شو عاملين اليوم. عامل literally means the doer, masculine. عاملة, doer, feminine. You're literally saying, what are you the doer? Which means, what are you doing today? What are you up to today? شو عامل اليوم? شو عاملة اليوم? شو عاملين اليوم? Bonsoir, good evening. Or you can also say it in Arabic, مساء الخير, but we use bonsoir a lot. You can also say شو عامل الليلة, or شو عاملة الليلة, or شو عاملين الليلة. What are you up to tonight? When I'm saying شو عامل الليلة, notice how I'm saying it with a liaison. شو عامل الليلة, شو عامل الليلة. تصبح على خير, good night if you're saying it to a guy. وأنت من أهله, and you too if you're saying it to a guy. تصبحي على خير if you're saying it in the feminine form. وأنت من أهله, you're also saying it to a girl or a woman. تصبحوا على خير, you're wishing it to a group of people. وأنتو من أهله if you're saying the reply to a group of people. شكرا or merci, thank you. You're welcome means تكرم, تكرمي or تكرموا, masculine, feminine, plural. تكرم عينك is friendlier. You're literally saying may your eye be generous, which means may you always receive generosity. That's why it translates as you're very welcome. تكرم عينك, masculine. تكرم عينيك, feminine. تكرم عينكن, plural. As a reply to shukran, you can also say ولو. ولو means like, how can you say that? It's a way to say don't mention it. Or you can say عشو ولو, for what? Or what for? ولو, don't mention it. Yalla guys, let's break it down. So, I'm gonna start with this part, شو عامل, okay? So, شو عامل, we can also pronounce it شو عامل, شو عامل أو شو عامل. I like to pronounce it شو عامل because that's how maybe we say it in the village I come from. شو عامل, so عامل or عامل is the person who does, the doer, literally. Okay, so when you say شو, it means what, and عامل, doer. So in Arabic, as I always say, we don't have the verb to be in the present tense, so it's not even like, what are you, the doer? You're saying what? The doer, which means, what are you up to? شو عامل? Okay? And if you want to ask it to a girl, you have to say شو عاملة, with the e sound here. شو عاملة? شو عامل? شو عاملة? What are you up to? What are you doing, basically? And then شو عاملين, in the in the end. شو عاملين or شو عاملين, the doers. So doer, masculine. Doer, feminine. Doers in the plural. So when I say what, doers, literally. And today, which means what are you, plural, doing today? I'm asking a group of people. What are you doing today? So it's not a verb, it's a participle. We call this اسم فاعل in Arabic, participle. It's playing the role of a verb here, the role of the present continuous, or, what are you up to today, or the present tense. So if I want to ask a guy, I will say شو عامل اليوم? What are you doing today? شو عاملة اليوم in the feminine form, and شو عاملين اليوم. Now the next expression is bonsoir. It's a French word. I'm not saying bonsoir with a r unless you're trying to be Frenchy in Lebanon. Sometimes they try to be Frenchy. But you can just say it as bonsoir, r. Now, even if you're not someone who speaks a lot of French or whatever, like, I don't consider myself someone who speaks a lot of French. Yeah, I'm just someone who uses more Arabic. Okay, but some words, they are almost like they are Arabic words, like bonsoir, bonjour, the one we said before, bonne nuit, even. Okay, so bonsoir, good evening. You can say masal khair, but like, in my life, I never use this. Of course, there are people who use it, and it depends on which community you come from. There are communities who use much more French than others. There are communities who use less French. So Masa al-Khair is very commonly used. But there, like, for example, if I'm in my street or in my village or in the community that I come from, a lot of people will say bonsoir more than Masa al-Khair. Okay, but if I break Masa al-Khair down, Masa, notice there is a Hamza here, which I'm not pronouncing it, it's silent, Masa, and it means evening. Il means the, and khair means goodness. So you're saying to the person an evening of goodness, you know, which means good evening. Okay, and the reply to it is Masa, and then we have il, which means the, and Noor means light. So with a liaison, you're not going to pronounce the Hamza and you're not even going to pronounce the Lam and the Alif here. Why? Because the word Noor, which means light, starts with a Noon. And the Noon is Harf Shamsi, or a sun letter. All the words that start with a Noon in Arabic, which we call Harf Shamsi, the Noon, whenever we put an L just before them, we're not going to pronounce that Lam. We're going to pronounce it in Noor. But even better, when we do a liaison, we're going to pronounce it Masan Noor, as if there's nothing here and just Noor with a shadda. Masan Noor. Masan Noor, you're saying to the person as a reply, good evening, but you're literally saying an evening of light. So Masal Khair, Masan Noor. I'm going to write these down with the Roman alphabet, but as I always tell you, don't rely on this. I really recommend you learn the Arabic script because when you get to a point where you will need to use books, you want to become more advanced, you can't rely on speaking Arabic just by using the Roman alphabet. Although I think it's very important to know both. Like when I'm texting my family, friends, all of that, we almost never use the Arabic script. We use the Roman alphabet and we type Lebanese using the Roman alphabet. But if you want to use books and if you want to improve, you want to become more fluent, it's very, very important to know the Arabic script. And you can learn all the letters within 2 weeks. You can improve your reading within a month, and then within 3 months, you can be very, very good if you practice reading every day. Okay, so but in 2 weeks you can learn to read and write. So I'm gonna write them anyway. So شو عامل, or شو عاملة, or you can also pronounce it عاملة, and شو عاملين. What are you up to? Bonsoir. مساء الخير. I'm gonna write it مساء الخير. And the reply is مساء النور. I'm gonna write it in مساء النور with the double N. مساء النور, because we don't pronounce the lam there. Now, instead of saying شو عامل اليوم, of course you can say شو عامل الليلة. So عامل, as I said, is the doer. عاملة feminine, عاملين plural. Okay, ليلة on its own without the L, it means one night, ليلة. But when you say الليلة, it means tonight. It's not one night anymore, it means tonight. So when I say شو عامل الليلة, what are you up to tonight? Now, if I also remove the te marbuta and I have the word ليل, it means night. So ليل means night. ليلة means a night, one night, and الليلة means tonight. Okay? Now, notice also we have here the word starting with a lam. So الليلة. So here also the word is finishing with a lam. So شو عامل الليلة, you can pause, but you can do a liaison. شو عامل لل. There's a lil here. شو عامل الليلة. لليلة. شو عامل الليلة. I'm gonna write it like that. Look. شو عامل لليلة. Okay? There's lots of liaisons. شو عامل الليلة. شو عامل الليلة. Okay? Or شو عامل الليلة. Or شو عاملين الليلة. What are you up to tonight? Okay. Now the next one, as I said, you can say bonne nuit, which means good night. Bonne nuit. That's the more common one, okay? in many communities. But here we have the expression of good night, which is تصبح على خير. تصبح على خير. Now, when I break it down, it's a very nice expression actually. تصبح comes from it doesn't come from it. It's related to the word subh, and subh means morning. And when you say تصبح, as if you're saying to the person, may you morning, يعني may your morning come, but you're literally saying may you morning. تصبح, of course in English doesn't make sense, but in Arabic it does. تصبح على خير, on goodness. May you morning on goodness. May your morning come with goodness. Yani may you wake up to goodness. So when the person is going to bed, already we're wishing them to wake up with goodness. تصبح على خير. That's why it means good night. Now here تصبح, obviously I'm saying it to a guy, تصبح. If I want to say it to a girl, I have to add the ye, and it becomes تصبحي على خير. So تصبح على خير, if I'm saying it to a guy. تصبحي على خير, so it's تصبحي with the a, على خير. And if I want to say it to a group of people, I have to say تصبحوا على خير. تصبحوا على خير. So على خير stays the same. The only thing changing is تصبح, I'm talking to a guy. تصبحي, I'm talking to a woman. تصبحوا, in the group, to a group of people. Now, the replies to these depends on, again, who you're talking to. So if a guy tells me good night, I have to speak to him as if he's a guy. So I have to say وإنت من أهله. من أهله doesn't change. And you too. But you're saying something like, and you too are worthy of it? You just reply as if you're saying, like, think of it as if you too, but just for a good night. Okay, so it's just a reply for تصبح على خير. We don't say it like you too when we're talking about something else. No, in that case, I would just say وإنت كمان, and you too, وإنت كمان, you too. But when it comes to the expression تصبح على خير, I have to say وإنت من أهله. If I'm speaking to a girl, I have to say obviously انت وانت من أهله. You see, من أهله is not changing. And تصبحوا على خير, I have to say وانتو, and you plural. So the only thing changing here is وانت من أهله, وانت من أهله if I'm replying to a girl, and وانتو من أهله if I'm responding to a group of people. Okay? So تصبح على خير, or تصبحي على خير, or تصبحوا على خير. It doesn't matter who the person is saying تصبح على خير to. The reply, it depends on if a guy is saying it to me, I say تصبح, I say وانت من أهله. Even if he tells me تصبحي على خير, because he has to use the feminine form with me, تصبحي على خير, I say to him وانت من أهله. Okay? And for example, if I want to say it to a girl, I say تصبحي على خير. And because I'm a girl too, she has to reply وانت من أهله. So the reply depends on who's standing in front of you, a guy, a girl, or a group of people, okay? So just to summarize, it's تصبح على خير, and then the reply is وانت, وانت, or وانتو من أهله, من أهله. Okay, and the تصبح can be تصبحي or تصبحوا, depending on who you're talking to. Okay? The next expression is shukran and merci. Again, merci is the more common one. Like, of course, you can say shukran, but you can also say merci. Consider it an Arabic word, merci. It's not only commonly used in Lebanon, but also in other Arabic countries. Now, the reply to merci or shukran is tikram, tikram, tikram. So, shukran, tikram, merci, tikram. I almost never use shukran in my life. I started using it more when I started teaching Arabic. Shukran. Merci, tikram. If I'm saying it to a guy, literally you're saying to the person, may you be generous. It doesn't exist in English and makes no sense, but in Arabic it does. It comes from the word, it's related to the word karam. Karam, generosity. That's why when you say tikram, kind of you're saying to the person, may you be generous, may you receive generosity. It's a way to say you're welcome, basically. تكرم. If you want to say it to a girl, we have to say تكرمي. We have to add the ye in the end. تكرم, تكرمي, تكرمي. If we want to say it to a group of people, it's تكرموا with the O in the end. And as I mentioned before, this alif here is silent. We don't pronounce it. So when I'm writing with the Lebanese Arabic, like Arabic script to say to speak Lebanese Arabic, I can even not write it, if I'm representing my words phonetically. So, shukran. If somebody says merci, I can say tikram, tikrame if it's a girl, and tikramu if it's a group of people. May you be generous, literally. Now, we have a much warmer and, friendlier expression. You can say to the person, tikram aynak. Ayn means an eye, your eye. And the nak in the end with the ak here makes it mean your eye. Tikram aynak. So in this case, you're literally saying to the person, may your eye be generous. Of course, it makes zero sense to you now, right? Tikram aynak. But if it's like you're saying, may your eye receive generosity, it's the friendlier way of saying tikram, basically. Tikram aynak, like, of course, your wish is my command, or something like that. Like, you're more than welcome. Tikram aynak. If you want to say it to a girl, you have to say tikram aynik. By the way, why am I saying tikram, may, in the feminine form, may she be generous? Because the word ayn is a feminine word, by the way, even if it doesn't have a te marbuta. خلاص, just memorize it. تكرم عينك, تكرم عينك if you want to say it to a girl, and تكرم عينكن, your in the plural. May your plural eyes be generous. يعني you're more than welcome to a group of people. So تكرم عينك, تكرم عينك, and تكرم عينكن. Okay? Also, when somebody says merci to me, I can say to them walau, walau. Walau is, it's like you're saying, like, how can you say that? Or in some contexts, it means like, what the hell? Like, for example, also you have to be very careful about the tone of the voice of the person who's saying walau. If I say to you walau, and obviously I'm very angry and I'm just saying to you, like, what the hell? What have you done? Walau. Maybe I'm driving and suddenly I see you throwing rubbish outside the window. I say walau, like, what the hell? What the hell? But if somebody says merci to me, I'm not gonna say to him walau. I have to say it softly. I say la walau, walau, and I don't mention it. That's how it translates, walau. You don't have to be angry. Like, sometimes when somebody does something even funny but strange, you can look at them and say, like, walau, like, what the hell? But in a fun way, you don't have to be angry. You can also say ashu. Literally means on, is the abbreviation of ala. We've spoken about this before. We've spoken about it. Okay? Ala shu. But also it means ashu. Literally on what, which means for what, which means what for. What for? Ashu. You can also say ashu walau, both together. Yani if somebody says merci to me and I want to say, like, thank you for what? You don't have to say thank you. I say ashu or ashu walau. So you can say the whole thing together as a cocktail. تكرم عينك walau, or ashu walau, or تكرم walau, or تكرم ashu walau, or تكرم عينك. No, I'm joking. Just you can choose one or a couple of them together, okay? Ashu or walau. Now, sometimes I can also use ashu, like, what for, if I'm saying something is not worth it. Like, I don't know if I'm in love with a guy and he's totally, like, not worth it. One of my friends can tell me, like, why do you love him? What for? Ashu, ashu. What for? Like, he has nothing, basically. Okay. Why do you still love him? Ashu بتحبي. What for do you love him? Which means, like, he's not worth it. Ashu. Okay. Yalla, that's it for today. I'm just gonna play the last part that I explained, and then I can check if you have any questions. So I'm gonna play from, where was it? شو عامل الليلة. Okay, or شو عاملين اليوم. يلا.
I think it was like 3 minutes and a half.
You're saying منيح, they are good. What are you doing? Which means شو عاملين اليوم?
يلا.
You can also say بيسلموا.
That was
They
from
say
yesterday.
hi,
بيسلموا.
even if they really didn't ask you to say hi.
And from here.
شو عامل in the masculine form, شو عاملة in the feminine form, شو عاملين in the plural form, شو عاملين اليوم. عامل literally means the doer, masculine. عاملة, doer, feminine. You're literally saying, what are you the doer? Which means, what are you doing today? What are you up to today? شو عامل اليوم? شو عاملة اليوم? شو عاملين اليوم? Bonsoir, good evening. Or you can also say it in Arabic, مساء الخير, but we use bonsoir a lot. You can also say شو عامل الليلة, or شو عاملة الليلة, or شو عاملين الليلة. What are you up to tonight? When I'm saying شو عامل الليلة, notice how I'm saying it with a liaison. شو عامل الليلة, شو عامل الليلة. تصبح على خير, good night if you're saying it to a guy. وانت من أهله, and you too if you're saying it to a guy. تصبحي على خير if you're saying it in the feminine form. وانت من أهله, you're also saying it to a girl or a woman. تصبحوا على خير, you're wishing it to a group of people. وانتو من أهله if you're saying the reply to a group of people. شكرا or merci, thank you. You're welcome means تكرم, تكرمي or تكرموا. Masculine, feminine, plural. تكرم عينك is friendlier. You're literally saying may your eye be generous, which means may you always receive generosity. That's why it translates as you're very welcome. تكرم عينك, masculine. تكرم عينك, feminine. تكرم عينكن, plural. As a reply to shukran, you can also say walau. Walau means like, how can you say that? It's a way to say don't mention it. Or you can say ashu walau, for what? Or what for? Walau, don't mention it.
Okay guys, yalla, let me see if anyone has a question. If not, I'm just gonna leave. Hi guys, thank you for watching. ليالي بالجمع, ليلة, one night, and ليالي is in the plural. Okay, yalla, I hope you enjoyed it, and we're done with expressions. Tomorrow I'm gonna do a more fun lesson which is related to Lebanese culture and the Lebanese person. So I will update you guys on Instagram what time I'm gonna do the lesson. I'm gonna post it on my story on Instagram. And that's it. Yalla, before I go, I just wanted to let you know that the next Lebanese Arabic 30-day challenge courses are beginning November 15 and finishing December 14. So there are levels all the way from absolute beginners to advanced. So if you want to study with me on Zoom, so that's going to be November 15, December 14. So I'm going to leave my email address under this video. It's sharik@globetrotwitharabic.com. So if you need information, you can get in touch. Also, I now have these 30-day challenge courses, the absolute beginners, the general 1 and the general 2, and very soon the general 3 course, as pre-recorded self-study courses which you can do on your own. So you can benefit from the 30-day challenge courses, but at your own pace, and you can have lifetime access to them. If you need more information, as I said, you can get in touch by email. Yalla, bye guys.